Hello, everyone. This is Tournament Scoop, and we are cracking up some packs. We have some golden boosters that we are going to open. Well, actually, I opened one already. I got bored. So let's go ahead and take a look. We have three mythics and three rares. So let's go ahead and take a look which one we got. So we have Twitching Doll, which is pretty good. It's a 2 mana 2/2. Add 1 mana of any color. Put Nest counter on Twitching Doll, and then sacrifice Twitching Doll. Create a 2/2 green spider creature token with a reach for each counter on Twitching Doll. Activate as a sorcery. The next one would be Unholy Annex, 3 mana. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card. If you control a demon, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Otherwise, you lose 2 life. And the 5 convert mana cost is for Ritual Chamber. When you unlock this door, create a 6/6 black demon creature token with flying. Moving on, we have Illicit Masquerade. It's a 4 mana from Markov Manor. Flash, when Illicit Masquerade enters, put an imposter counter on each creature you control. Whenever a creature you control with an imposter counter on it dies, exile it, return up to one other target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Next up, we have the Gitrog, Ravenous Ride. It's a 5 mana 6/5 Trample Haste. This one came from Outlaws. Whenever the Gitrog Ravenous Ride deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice a creature that settled it this turn. If you do, draw X cards, then put up to X lands from your hand onto the battlefield tapped, where X is the sacrifice creature's power. Next up, we have Season of the Bold. It's a 5 mana from Bloomborough. It's a sorcery speed. Choose up to 5 paw worth of modes. You can choose the same type more than once. So either create a tap treasure token or exile the top 2 cards of your library until end of turn, or until end of turn of your next turn. Whenever you cast a spell, Season of the Bold deals 2 damage to up to 1 target creature. And lastly, we have another Gitrog, Ravenous Ride. So that was pretty bad. So multiple copies. But let's go ahead and check out what else is new. We have 4 more golden packs. All right, we have 1 mythic and we have 5 rares. So let's go ahead at the bottom. We have Hearthborn Battler, see mana 2/3 haste. Whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, Hearthborn Battler deals 2 damage to that target opponent. Next up, we have Pure Passive Veil, say 4 mana. Discard your hand, then draw X cards, where X is the number of card types among cards in your graveyard. And then we also have Dowerport Mage, say 2 mana 1/3 from Bloomborough. Whenever one or more other creatures you control leave the battlefield without dying, draw a card. And then pay 2, tap, return another target creature you control to its owner's hand. Next up, we have Curse Recordings, a 4 mana artifact from Duskmourn. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a time counter on Curse Recording. Then, if there are 7 or more time counters on it, remove those counters and it deals 20 damage to you. Now, when you um, when you next cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. We also have Decadent Dragon. It's a 4 mana 4/4. It's flying trample. Whenever a Decadent Dragon attacks, create a treasure token. And at its cheaper side, which is an instant expensive taste, exile the top 2 cards of target opponent's library face down. You may look at and play those cards for as long as they remain exiled. And for our mythic, we have Agatha, the Vile Cauldron. It's a 2 mana 1/1. Activated abilities of creatures you control cost X less to cast or activate, where X is Agatha of the Vile's creature's power, or Vile Cauldron's power. Alright. This effect can't reduce the mana of that cost to less than 1 mana. So 4 and red and green. Other creatures you control get +1/+1, gain trample and haste until end of turn. We have three more golden packs, so here we go. Guaranteed mythic for one, and we have 5 rares at the bottom, so let's go ahead and take a look. We have Zimone, All Questioning, say 3 mana 1/1. At the beginning of your end step, if a land entered the battlefield under your control this turn, and you control a prime number of lands, create Primo the Indivisible, a legendary 0/0, green and blue fractal creature token, then put that many 1/1 counters on it. Moving on, we have 3 Steps Ahead, which is a 1 mana spree instant, which is +2, so counter target spell, +3. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact or creature you control, and then +2. Draw 2 cards and discard a card. We also have Ren the Relentless. It's a 4 mana 3/4. It has Ward 2. If a creature an opponent control would die, exile it instead. At the beginning of each end step, create X11 Black Rat creature tokens. With this, creature gets +1/+1 for each other rat you control, where X is the number of creatures that were exiled under your opponent's control this turn. We also have Keelan Daring Traveler. It's a 2/3 for 2. Whenever Keelan Daring Traveler attacks, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card with mana value 3 or less, put it into your hand. Otherwise, you may put it into your graveyard. And for the sorcery, create X map tokens where X is 1 plus the number of opponents who control an artifact. We have Winter Misanthropic Guide. It's a 4 mana junk color. It's a 3/4. Legendary creature. It's a human warlock with Ward 2. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws 2 cards, so it's a hug style commander. Delirium, as long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your in your graveyard. Each opponent's maximum hand size is equal to 7 minus the number of those card types. Alright, so we have World Waker Helm. It's a 3 mana artifact. If you create 1 or more artifact tokens, instead create those tokens plus an additional map token. You will pay 2 to tap, create a token that's a copy of target artifact token you control. Alright, here we go. 2 more packs of the golden pack. Here we go. Open up. Guaranteed mythic. We have 1, and then we have 5. Alright, here we go. We have Hedge Shredder. It's a 3 mana 5/5. Whenever Hedge Shredder attacks, you may mill 2 cards. When 1 or more land cards are put into your graveyard from your library, put them into your battlefield tapped. Next up, we have Peer Past the Veil. We already saw that. Enduring Innocence is a 3 mana 2/1 lifelink Glimmer Sheep. Whenever 1 or more other creatures you control with power 2 or less enter, draw a card. This ability trigger only once each turn. When Enduring Innocence dies, if it was a creature, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. It's an enchantment. It's no longer a creature. Great Train Heist is a 1 mana instant spree for additional 3. Untap all creatures you control. If it's your combat phase, there's an additional combat phase after this phase. And then additional 2. Creatures you control get 1 and 0 engage first strike until end of turn. And additional red. Choose target opponent whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to that player. This turn, create a tapped treasure token. We have Storm Chaser's Talent. It's a 1 mana. When enters, create a 1/1 blue and red otter creature token with prowess. When this class becomes level 2, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. And lastly, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 blue and red otter creature token with prowess. And for the mythic, we have Lost Jite, what we call it. It's a 1 mana legendary artifact. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to put a charge counter on Lost GT, remove a charge counter from Lost GT, choose one untap target land. Target creature can't block this turn. And then put a 1/1 counter on equipped creature. Alright. And here we go, last one. Let's see what we have. Guaranteed Mythic. And let's go ahead and open this up. We have Sentinel of the Nameless City. It's a 3 mana 3/4 Merfolk Vigilance. Whenever Sentinel of the Nameless City enters or attack, create a map token. The next one is Roaring Furnace for 2. When you unlock this door, this room deals damage equal to the number of cards in your hand to target creature and opponent controls. And then for 5, you have no maximum hand size. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card. We also have Keelan Daring Traveler again. And we have Hushwood Verge, which is a land. Add green and then it can add white. Activate only if you control a forest or a plains. We also have Valley Rot Caller. It's a 2 mana 1/3 menace. Whenever Valley Rot Caller attacks, each opponent loses one X life, and you gain X life, where X is the number of other squirrel, rats, birds, and rats you control. And lastly, for the mythic, we have Urgent Necropsy. It's a 4 mana. As an additional cost to cast a spell, collect evidence X, where X is the total mana value of the permanents this spell targets. Destroy up to 1 target artifact, up to 1 target creature, up to 1 target enchantment, and up to 1 target planeswalker. So pretty good. So there you have it. Those are all our packs, golden packs. And hopefully you enjoyed looking at the new cards and everything that we opened up. So again, I hope you enjoyed the show and come back again next time when we do another round of either limited, sealed, or draft. So until next time, this is Turn One Scoop signing out.